everybody's stream. My husband just whispered in the other room, "Why isn't she so loving and happy with us?" I heard that. Yeah, this is
Hey guys, what's up? Do we have sound? I see we have lag. Hey guys. Hey little sister, Journey, Nashua, Crafty Mamas, Starving Emma. Somebody feed that woman. Candy, Miss Gigi, Beth, Mina. Greet everybody while we wait for 8:10 to roll around. Well, 8:10 Eastern Standard Time, 7:10 Central. Miss Minnie Parrish, Creative Nana, also known as Sheila, Patty O, Angie Bassett, hello, hello. Kathy's World, the Jersey Crafter, aka Laura, Beth Schuler, hello, hello. Artsy Wannabe, Miss Julie, Vanessa, Aunt B, Linda, Barbara, Amy, Branson, Kiesha, Abigail. A desk in the attic. That's creepy. Because usually ghosts are in the attic. Or that old V.C. Andrews book, those kids that were in the attic. Miss Barbara, Chicken Pot Pie Society. Miss Brown. 3 minutes and counting. We'll go live. Well, we're live. We'll just start teaching y'all some stuff and answering some questions. Hi, Sharon. Welcome aboard. Eileen, troublemaker. All right, we got 2 more minutes, guys. Can you hear my timer ticking, my kitchen timer ticking? Is everybody doing okay? Y'all have a good Sunday? All right. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. There is about a 20 or 30-second lag between me and y'all. So, for those who don't know me, I am originally from North Carolina. I joined the Navy when I was 18. I got out of the Navy in 1996 and started following my husband around until he retired after 20 years. I've always liked to doodle, which is what I call it when I draw, because I call it doodling because I still got a lot to learn. So my daughter did what she's calling Wisptober, and so this was today's prompt, which was cage. So instead of drawing a cage, I drew a cage. So all I'm going to show you guys is some of the things that I do to make my own yarn. And what I have right here are my hand carders, and these hand carders have a fine carding cloth on it for use with finer wools such as merino, alpaca blankets, which is a very, very warm and very soft fiber. Alpaca fiber, the hairs are hollow, which is how they hold in the heat and why they're so warm. Wool can hold 30% of its weight in water. So that's why wool can drown you if you have on all wool clothing and you end up submerged in water. That's why it's so heavy. And I love working with raw fleece. I love preparing my own fleece, and I just enjoy the yarn making process. So with the hand cards, mine are marked left and right because I'm a natural lefty, and also it's so that because your hands have your grip, it can do the wood is not a really hard wood. I can like scratch it with my nail. So they'll eventually start conforming to my hand shape. So I don't want to be switching them back and forth between hands, which is why I mark them. So what you would do is you would load the hand carder in your non-dominant hand. For me, which I'm a natural lefty, so I tend to do stuff ambidextrally, but I'm gonna do this way. So you load your carder. Hopefully y'all can see this because like I said, I'm behind, and so I'm not seeing the picture of what I'm doing right now. So you just load it up, and like I've been doing some little samples, and I know there's other people load theirs different ways, but I'm just doing little samples. I'm not like doing an actual fleece. This is some Firestar, which is an artificial fiber. It's some nylon. That's why it's so sparkly. Hopefully you guys can see that. And I'm just going to drag some of that through there as well. I also have a drum carder, but it's too big to put up here for a demonstration. And plus, I don't take it down unless my granddaughter is not around because I don't want her hurting herself. The tines on the carding cloth are very sharp, and I don't want her degloving her skin off of her body. So this is some sari silk, and I'm just going to put a little bit of that up there as well. And this is how we make art yarn, or little bit of Rolex for art yarn. I just do it when I'm like in a mood. I want to do something colorful and fun. And this is some alpaca. So I'm just going to put a little bit of that in there. Some people have what they're called carding boards. that they do this on, and then they roll it off after they blend it with the dowel rod. But we're going to use our hand cards. So when you use your hand cards, you don't want to drag them across the carding cloth. You don't want them interlocking. You just want to go across the top of the fiber. See, like that. And you just do it until you pull off most of your fiber. Okay. And so what this is doing is aligning my fibers. So you can see how these are all nice and lined up. Okay. And so let's set this out of the way. Then all I would do is I would take, because I'm going to spin this on my drop spindle, I would just take and peel this off because I don't need a lot. And I want a lot of the color in there because I'm only going to be spinning a couple of yards out of this, or a couple of feet. It depends. So this is what I would get. And I'll just roll it up like this into a little colorful bundle. On my drum carder, I would actually do a big bat that will probably be about, let me see, it's about 8 inches around, wide, and the cloth will probably be about almost 2 feet long. So then I would take and spin it on my drop spindle. This is a short one, so y'all might actually be able to see this. And so you can start it by adding some twists to the fiber, which is a little bit of kinetic energy. And then after you get it started, then you can do what's called suspended spinning, where it's hovering like that, it's suspended. So hopefully y'all can see this. This is one of my shorter spindles, so that's why I'm doing it like that for y'all. And after you get it started, you just wind it onto the shaft. And once it's wound on the shaft, it's called a cop, C-O-P. And so then you just keep spinning. Okay, and so then after it's spun, it's a spun single. And so then after it's spun, if I'm just doing samples, then I wind them on to handmade bobbins, which is just cardboard. So I'm recycling my package. This is a store-bought bobbin that you use for putting your yarn on or thread on, depending on what you're going to be using it for. But I can use these cardboard ones. You can cut them to have a little divot in them so you can wind more onto it. And I just roll it up onto these little cardboard bobbins to store it in the small amounts that I'm going to probably be putting in Happy Mails for people so they can add it to their scrapbooking. All right, so then we have this drop spindle, which I was sent samples by someone I purchased fiber from, some Shropshire, and some beneath this is some gray Romney that I got a sample from. And I spun this, and this is considered a lace single, but once I apply, it will be more along sock weight yarn. Okay. So after I spin that into a single, I then ply it into a 3-ply yarn. So these are some of my hand spun from either last year or the year before. Let me see if I put a year on this. No year on that one. So there's no year on these. This one I bought was fiber that I bought from my local yarn store, I believe. Yeah. And so it's a 3-ply yarn, and it's been washed and finished, and it's a sock weight yarn. And so that's 3 strands of the 3-ply yarn. And then this was I won this on, one of my friends put my name in some giveaway for quilling fiber arts, and I actually won. So they sent her a skein of yarn, but they sent me some fiber. So I have an Etsy shop. There should be a link to it somewhere. And I'm also on Instagram as Shespins. And then this yarn, this is some Falkland wool that my husband and I dyed. And then I spun 2 skeins of that wool into this one big bundle. So those are some samples of what you can do with your hand spun yarn for your wool. So now I have actually samples of things made with my hand spun. My friend Sarah Hepworth over in the UK, she made me some shop samples with my hand spun when I was more gung-ho about trying to sell my hand spun. And then lots of things happened in my life and I just didn't have time for it, but I'm starting to get back into that. But I don't usually knit with my hand spun. I usually either sell it, give it away to friends for Christmas and birthdays, or it's over in these big space bags full. It's the process of making the yarn, spinning the yarn, dyeing the yarn. That is what mostly attracts me. I enjoy going to fiber festivals and buying fleece and then taking that fleece and having it processed. I used to process my own fleeces. Now I send them off to be processed so I can just spin, so it won't take too much time for my spinning. And so Sarah made all these little samples for me from my hand spun, and they're just beautiful. These are more so for small newborns and preemies, but they're beautiful. I was like shocked and amazed that this was yarn that I spun, that someone made into these beautiful garments. And and then she made this one right here. So all my grandbabies have been big grandbabies, so I couldn't use any of this on them. So this is something that I actually made with my hand spun, which is a hat. The top part is crocheted and the bottom part is knit. And it's just, I did this year because I was like, I got all this yarn that I made myself. I need to use it. So I've been trying to start using some of my hand spun. So those are just some of the things that you can do with hand spun. I have friends who make socks for their family members with it. They make cool hats with it. They do all kinds of awesome things, make shawls and things with it. And it's just a very enjoyable process for me. The process of making yarn is my piece. So, but I enjoy doodling too. So you guys got any questions? So I'm watching the chat now so I can answer questions for y'all. So I guess while y'all ask me questions about spinning, I can doodle. If you just type in Shespins, you should be able to find me on Instagram, Etsy, all over the place, Facebook, just anywhere pretty much. If you go to my channel, there should be a link on my homepage here on YouTube. So yeah. But let me see. I wasn't expecting all this. See if I can find this for y'all. Okay. And there's okay. So my shop name is Shespins Yarn. Let's see if I can get the link. Copy address. Hopefully it goes through. There you go. So that's my Etsy shop. My Instagram. Is Instagram.com and She Spins. I always post things I'm working on Instagram. You will see it on Instagram before you see it on Facebook or on my YouTube channel. Since I've been participating in Wistober, I've been trying to do a live video every day to do my Wistober drawing and just to keep myself accountable. Just to keep myself accountable. And I know there are people participating in Inktober. Dee Dee's doing Inktober, but she's doing her own prompts. So my daughter is a professional illustrator. I made sure that she got to go to school for her art and stuff. And then she did her own college and stuff with scholarships and whatnot. My father and mother felt that my brain was best used for other things. I wanted to go to school to be a veterinarian or an artist. My mother was a nurse. She wanted me to either become a doctor or go into nursing. My dad was a carpenter. He didn't want me to be a carpenter. He wanted me to go to school to be a lawyer or something like that. They weren't of the mindset of me doing what I wanted to do. And so I went into the Navy to get away from my family because I just decided that, you know what, I'm just going to make my own way in life. If you can't support me to be happy doing the things that I want to do, then I'll just go into the military and I'll get money for school and I'll go to school for what I want to go to school for. So I ended up getting a degree in web design and internet technology. And I don't work in my field because I realize I'm not a people person. People who they don't want to listen. They didn't want to listen, And so I ended up, I'm a dispute specialist for a company. So now I listen to people's monetary woes and handle disputes. So that's what I do. But I'm determined to improve my drawing skills because, I got all these art supplies. I have all these art supplies, so I'm determined to improve my drawing skills. So that's one of the things I've been trying to do. And I really don't want to get a new hobby, but I have no problems with gluing. So that's why I think I'm going to start gluing stuff into those composition books and things. I think I would enjoy cutting stuff out and gluing stuff when on days where I can't spin because I'm watching my grandbaby and stuff. So thank you, Crafting on a Budget. So does anybody have any specific questions about spinning, about wool, about alpaca fiber? I have spun cat fur, dog fur. I made memorial yarn for friends who saved some of their pets' fur, and I blended it with alpaca. or I blended it with wool, something that looked close to their pet's fiber. Or if they wanted their pet's fiber to really stand out, then I blended it with white or cream and spun it for them. And then they knit it into like little urn covers to go over their pet's urn. Or they made like, like a swatch or something and put it inside of what do they call those picture frames? The frames where you put like the flag and stuff in. I can't think of the word right now. But they put it in something like that. How long did it take to spin one skein on yarn? It depends on the yarn. On the a fiber like this is a Blueface Leicester. While it is a fine next to skin soft yarn, it's not as smooth, as fine as alpaca. These weigh roughly about the same. However, you can see there's a lot more alpaca because it's such a fine fiber. It has a very, very, very high micron count. And so it's a very, so it would take me for 4 ounces. It would take me about 3 hours to spin this Blueface Leicester. However, it would probably take me anywhere from 4 hours onward to spin 4 ounces of alpaca, simply because it is a lot more fiber, and I would end up spinning it very, very thin. Very thin. Simply because it's alpaca fiber. Now, each animal within the breed can be different. It's just like my hair is different from my daughter's hair. Her daughter's hair is different from hers. So in each animal's fur fiber could be different. Like this is probably, because I got it from my friend who owned a fiber mill, this is probably somewhere along a 21 micron fiber, or 18 or 19. I would have to look at the bag and see. But because she would blend this with her alpacas. So if it was a thicker wool, which would be like a 26 or something like that, then I would spin it faster because it's a coarser wool and it grabs the twist a lot faster. You would love to touch it. What region? I'm originally from North Carolina. I'm originally from a little town called Warsaw in North Carolina. So we're surrounded by military bases. We got Fort Bragg to the south, Camp Lejeune to the north, Cherry Point north of Camp Lejeune. We got Seymour Johnson to our west. So if we ever went and had another world war, my whole state would probably go up in flames first, and then Virginia. I started spinning 2003 or 4, and it's funny because I've always been fascinated by spinning wheels, and I've always I started crocheting when I was little, using tobacco twine off of the tobacco poles. We would take the twine when we took the tobacco in, and we would soak it in boric acid for a couple of days to remove any stains, and then we would practice crocheting with that tobacco twine because our mamas weren't going to waste money on yarn for us, so we had to practice on tobacco twine. So I've been doing this since 2003, 2004. That's when I've been spinning. It was strange because I was watching a video on Navajo weaving, and I heard somebody like right up in my ear, like somebody, you could feel the breath, and it said, "That's for you." And I thought somebody had snuck into my house, and I spun around ready to fight, and there was nobody there. And so I freaked out, but I just couldn't get it out of my mind. And so I called my grandma and I talked to her, and she said, when the Lord sends you messages, you follow them. So I bought a drop spindle and some yarn and some fiber off Etsy, and it's like I knew what to do. So my friend Teresa said, "You did this in another lifetime, and the Lord was getting you back on course." Because this, for me, this is literally my piece. This literally saved my life. because my blood pressure was jacked up. I got diagnosed with diabetes. I was not in a good place mentally, and this literally saved my life. It was a coping mechanism for me. So yeah. So if you have a message, I mean, you could feel the breath. If someone speaks to you and you turn around, there's nobody there, and it's a positive thing that they say to you, you might want to look into it, because it might be a higher power. I mean, there are people who don't believe in God. There are people who believe in higher powers, who believe in energy, things of that nature. It could be energy, from a family member or someone who loves you. It might still be living, but they feel people there's energy out there, and I'm a firm believer that people can transfer their energy to each other. Mothers to their children, calm them down, things of that nature. So you sometimes you'll say, oh, I wish my husband would come home, and the next thing you know, he's driving up in the driveway because he felt like I needed to come home. You see what I'm saying? So never discount those feelings that you might have, or that energy that someone is sending you, this positive energy, because you never know who else might need you to pass that same thing on to them. And listen to these messages that you get, because you never know where that message came from. It could come from a loved one. It could come from a child. It could come from somebody who just thinking about you, wishing you well. So always listen to those messages, unless they're negative messages. Now, if they're negative messages, you need to go get help, because positive energy is not going to tell you to do no harm. Okay. So I'm just saying it. Positive energy is a good thing, and you need to listen to that energy when it's trying to help you. So I believe there's something out there for everybody, and no one should naysay nobody's beliefs, because you don't know what that energy is there for, or who is there to help. So energy is energy, but it's how that energy is, the intent behind that energy. So I love doodling. I think I'm out of time, almost out of time. I love doodling. I love yarn and fiber. My room is in this house. This house is over 100 years old. And my room is the nursery that's off the master bedroom. It's like, I don't know, probably 16 feet wide by 25 feet long, something like that. So it's like a big walk-in closet, but it's my craft room. So all of my stuff is in here, except for a box of mailers that's upstairs in the attic. So yeah, it's my little cavern, my little cavern. I need some more room so I can spread out, but I want to convert the garage into a bigger craft space. So, all right, so I'm gonna go ahead and post the next person's link, because I'll talk y'all to death. Let me see. So the next person is gonna be Miss Martha, I do believe. There we go. We got a 15-minute break after me. Oh, okay. But I'm gonna post her link anyway, so y'all can have it. Okay, so here's her link. So y'all can go ahead and open up a window for Miss Martha. So my she cave, yes, my she cave. That's the word. I need a bigger she cave. I also garden, but after my gardening buddy passed away, I just hadn't had the energy or felt like it. But next year I plan on gardening again. So y'all be seeing some more gardening videos from me again, because I used to post my gardening videos. So y'all got a 15-minute break. Y'all can run downstairs and get you some Dr. Pepper and some butter pecan ice cream. and then get ready to head over to Miss Martha's channel in 15 minutes, okay? Yes, this year I'm gonna try no-till gardening, so I'm saving up cardboard to kill my weeds and stuff and kill the grass in the area I'm gonna put it. A root beer float. Oh, that sounds good too. All right, y'all. Take care. It's nice to meet all of y'all. I'll see y'all at Martha's channel. What's wrong with your other ear, girl? Oh. All right, I'm gonna go because I got to see my grandbaby before she goes to bed. So I'm gonna let y'all go.